Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today we're talking about Warframe Eidolon bossing. So I've just recently finally started getting into Eidolon bossing. It's something that I generally just never cared to do in the game, and it's still kind of annoying because of the whole day-night cycle, but hey, I'm finally bothering to do Eidolon hunting, mainly for focus, because, you know, I don't really care for focus farming, and to farm Eidolons seems like overall a better choice. And I need reputation, loot, etc., right? I need the items that Eidolons give me. So, I found out it's actually really not that hard. I'm starting to run Eidolons purely just in public Cetus group bounties. I'm not going for any specific team comps. I'm not going for any specific groups. I'm just running it casually, running Volt with my Rubico Prime, right? A standard enough build, or I guess frame and build that you could do it solo if you knew what you were doing well enough and had a full build, but no, I have like a good enough build. My amp's strong, but you know, not the strongest. My Rubico Prime's at least strong, and my Volt has some buffs so I can one-shot limbs pretty easily, so really my biggest issue is still just void damage, right? Just popping off the shield. I feel like that's going to be the issue until I get more arcanes, so we will be running publics. So, if you like the video, we're going to be talking about Eidolons, so subscribe if you want. Most people who watch the videos aren't subscribed, surprisingly. You can also follow me on Twitch. I stream Warframe, Genshin, really whatever games I feel like playing there, and also on YouTube, because I like streaming on all of the platforms. Yeah, clearly. Very selfish boy I am. Very, very selfish man. So Eidolon hunting at this point in Warframe hasn't been too bad. I should say that since I'm pretty much endgame Warframe, I already had a pretty good setup going into it, right? So I had that advantage. I built up my 177 amp to do some good damage. It's not like fully finished. I'll probably eventually get a different amp, but for now, 177 amp is a very good one. It does a lot of damage, shooting through Volt's electric shield, adding damage there. I think it can crit like 1300 or something, so I mean, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. So far, I messed around, soloed a Gauntlist, but I didn't actually end up doing a Hydralist yet, so I probably will end up doing that eventually. But right now, I'm just running publics. Running them takes like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, depending on the group, depending on what setup. People just randomly end up going. Usually, there will always be two or at least one, but usually I end up seeing 2 Volts because I'm a Volt, and then usually someone else will go a Volt because it's just kind of safe going as Volt in publics. Like public Eidolon safe picks so far seem to be like good buffing support characters. Volt's always good because shield adds more void damage, well, damage in general, right? Going to his electric shield when you actually shoot the Eidolon, so that's fun, right? People throw on Trinity for a lot of her heals, and I think 1 or 2 of her augment mods. Same with like Volt, he has good augment mods that help too. And then from there, I don't know, people can throw on a lot of things. People can throw on the, I don't know, is it like Raplak, Stropha, right? People can throw on some armor stripping melee gun blades. There's a lot of strats at this point to Eidolons, but I'm just kind of running it casually right now, right? I don't need any sort of armor stripping for the limbs or anything like that. I'm only really looking to increase my damage for like doing the shield void damage right now, but honestly, all in all, Eidolons aren't too bad once you get a hang of it. It might take you running like a handful of night cycles through the full Trilon in publics to get like a good handhold of Eidolons. If you're newer, you might just want to stick to the first Eidolon and not do the 3 Eidolon quest, right? Or bounty. You might just want to stick to the first Eidolon if you're not like prepared or don't have anything higher than a moat amp, right? If you're that early on, it's probably safe to stick to the first Eidolon. Once you start upgrading and you get a new amp, like a better amp that can do some damage, From there, I'd say it's probably safe to run public Eidolons. So the thing about running Eidolons is people are known to be just hella toxic in Eidolon hunting. A, because it's one of the things people are a little competitive in the game for. It has a day-night cycle, so your actual performance does matter. One of the few times in Warframes where your legit performance matters, right? So doing speedruns of Eidolons is the most efficient way to do it. But if you're running public Eidolons, you surely shouldn't be that sweaty of a player, right? Like, that shit should be 100% for pre-made groups and solos, right? If you're running public Eidolons, you should just generally have good enough builds. Just get a general gist of it. Public should be for learning, right? So yeah, you'll probably the first handful of times get downed a lot, right? It's pretty easy to get down on an Eidolon a handful of times anyways, especially when reading chat and streaming. So I wouldn't worry about it. People will be rude no matter what though, sadly. Sometimes you'll just get unlucky. I mean, I've been pretty lucky so far that people have been chill with the Eidolon hunting. I just kind of had a moment at one point where I just could not, for some reason, find and place my Eidolon shard. I couldn't find it. So people were just kind of what are you okay there, sir? And then, yeah, we fixed that. But other than that, I haven't luckily been flamed and haven't seen any hard flaming yet in Eidolon caps, but I've only done a handful of nights over the past couple of days, so yeah. But at least it's nice to know that the concept of Eidolons right now is pretty simple, right? Go operator, do damage using void cannon, your little arm cannon, right? Go into Warframe, shoot limbs, right? Simple. The other side part is capture hack lures, charge lures on Vomvalist, capture Eidolon at the very final stage when you've killed all of its limbs, right? That's the whole Eidolon experience in a nutshell, right? A very fast 1 second, 1 minute TLDR is that. It's not hard per se, but it takes some time getting used to the different abilities of Eidolons, right? When they use their AoE ability, after you shoot off a limb, you either have to, go operator void mode, or maybe on your K drive to avoid all of the damage, the magnetic damage, right? There's stuff you gotta learn along the way, but other than that, it's not really too hard. If you do need general tips and guides, 100% the Warframe wiki is a good to go place, right? Just so you can find general tips you want to build radiation damage on status, right? You don't want status chance, but you want radiation damage for status. It doesn't seem to matter too much overall, but hey, that's what it looks like. Armor strip is good. I haven't used any yet. Like I said, I'm not going hard into my builds yet. I just threw together my good old Rubico Prime and Volt threw on Eclipse on my Volt, and then have my Shock Trooper Augment mod, call it a day. So that's what I'll be running. It's pretty standard all in all to run Volt like that anyways with my general build, right? Might not be the best, but it is good enough and definitely one of the better, all of the mods are maxed, high tier, high damage percent mods, things like that, right? So yeah, it looks like Eidolon hunting is not the worst, right? If you're newer, not, MR30, you're newer to the game, haven't really gotten into it much, it'll definitely be harder and take more time to get into, but hey, that's how Warframe works. Run publics, or try to look for groups of people trying to teach you, or down to just run you through it, but usually publics are the way to go. Look at the Warframe wiki if needed. Eidolon hunting, now that I've gotten into it in a little bit, it's not that bad. You just gotta capture charge lures and fight down the Eidolons with your operator and then with your guns shooting down the limbs. It's really that simple. It takes some time. Maybe eventually I'll try doing a 4x6 speedrun once I get more of a meta build going on, I guess. But for now, I'm just running publics, chilling with everyone. Running it with people in the stream if they generally know how to run Eidolons, right? It is, of course, for some people kind of a pain to run it if you haven't ran it before, so meh. But hey, I always run public, so you never truly know. We've definitely gotten a handful of people here and there in with modamps, but luckily since I am somewhat capable at soloing a Eidolon. Getting like an extra one person in with me is all I technically need as long as they have a good enough build. So, hey, usually there'll only usually be one, maybe two people who don't fully know how to do Eidolons when running the Eidolon bounty. So honestly, it's not that bad. It's a good way to learn. Would recommend 10 out of 10. If people are toxic, just ignore them. Don't turn on voice chat. Oh dear God, why would people ever do that in Warframe? Wouldn't recommend 0 out of 10. So, hey, just wanted to talk about Eidolon hunting a bit today. I'll make a video just doing a casual, probably Eidolon in Publix soon enough. And yeah, we'll just be talking about the game going forward, of course, because Warframe. So, thank you all for watching. Like, favorite, my other content on my other social medias, comment below, and I will see you next time. Peace.